sleep training for your little guy.
All righty.
So I know that you're kind of on an easy schedule over there, which is totally great. If that works for you, everyone has different parenting.
It doesn't always work, but for now, you're kind of,
Right.
it feels like things are just kind of like, you don't have the time to really, I mean, I do have the time, but I don't know.
I know. Yep. You don't have to explain
Life happens. Life just happens, and you don't really like think about it. You just do that, and then you keep doing it and doing it.
Right. And also you have a whole bunch of kids. So
right. Exactly. There's that.
So that's why I think it would be kind of helpful to possibly give you some tips and tricks and walk you through the sleep training program.
Awesome.
And hope
Yeah.
to help a little bit. Yeah. So it sounds like your afternoons are the hardest.
Yeah. It feels like that, like it's hit or miss whether I can get him to nap on his own. If I can, he does sleep longer, but if I like have to nurse him to sleep, or if I have to like I don't know how to explain it, but like if he doesn't just go in his crib and lay down, he's up within 2 minutes. Like if I have to balance him and then I put him down, it's like 2 minutes later he's up, and it's just like, okay, so then you start the process over. You feed him, you do all the things. Yeah. And then
So remind me, are you swaddling or is he rolling?
He rolls, and I did have a swaddle that he did like until like probably a week ago, that he kept his arms in like this. Yeah. And now that he's rolling, I'm afraid to put him in it, that he will just like roll over and So I haven't been using it.
Okay. And there are, in case sleep is an issue, it's something you want to try down the road, there are sleep sacks, swaddlers for rollers.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I've never even thought to use them past like that.
I know.
Maybe 2-month mark. So
I've had babies that have needed something up to like 8 or 9 months, and they just wouldn't sleep without it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be really interested to know what kind would be best for him at this age, just because he did like it. He seemed to really like that coziness.
The comfort of it.
Yeah.
I can send you I can send you a link. Perfect. If you'd like. Look at him. Oh, he's so cute. Hi, buddy. Hi,
distraction,
buddy. Hi.
Big distraction.
All bundled up. Oh, yes. So cute. Okay. So my suggestion would be, and I know you don't track it, that's totally fine. My first thing I suggest is for 2 days, kind of track. You kind of already told me a little bit, but the goal is to not miss the window and get him in before he's fussy.
Okay,
right.
So you don't want him to actually fuss. You're gonna.
I mean, if he kind of starts a little bit fussy, but you want him to be a little bit happy still. You want him to be sleepy and awake.
Not spazzing.
Yeah, right. Because then you just miss the window. And so that's why I'd recommend tracking it, even if it's for a week, just so that gets you kind of aware of, oh, okay, it's 2:00. He's been up for an hour and a half. I know what happens next.
Okay.
Put him in before it's too late. That's the goal.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Really. And then the other goal is to let him, hopefully get him to sleep longer than 45 minutes. Okay. Because that's the sleep cycle. Right. So I'm just going to go through the steps.
Yeah, go ahead.
For you. And we'll see what you think about that.
Perfect.
Okay. So at his nap time, bedtime, day or night, doesn't matter. I would lay them down awake, like we just talked about.
Okay.
And then if he cries, 5 minutes, go in at 5 minutes. And then, no talking, just shushing, patting, keep the lights out. You stay in for a minute and soothe. And then even if they're crying at a minute, you leave.
Okay. Would you pick them up at that 5-minute mark?
Nope.
Okay. Just kind of shush.
Patting and shushing. Because they know you're there. That's enough for them to, Yep. And then at a minute, leave, even if they're fussy. That's just reassuring them that you haven't left them. Right. And if that's hard for you, I recommend, having a sip of coffee, doing one thing for yourself. It'll go so fast.
Okay.
I know it's hard. We don't wait at the door and watch your, Don't do that. Send an email, send a text, do something.
Okay.
And then set the timer again. I do 2 5 minutes. So 5 minutes, 5 minutes, same thing. You repeat it for an hour. But after the second 5 minutes, it's 7 minutes, 8 minutes. I'll send you the chart. I'll put it below, or yeah. And then it just slowly goes
longer and longer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But then in an hour, if he hasn't slept, which he will, you start over. And then after we get that kind of at a base somewhat, you have to be consistent. That's the other thing that it's hard. I know it's hard. Things happen. But
so do you do that like, so at an hour and you say you stop, then like you just
start over, get him up, feed him, whatever his next thing is. And
then you would start that whole process over again with the 5 minute, and then
at every bedtime, at every, in a matter of days, he would be on a pretty good schedule and realizing that like, okay, this is what we're doing, and then sleeping really good. I've had such crazy experiences where even this guy that I'm working with now, if the whole, like for month 3 was really hard. He was very like bounce for 45 minutes, finally get him to sleep. He'd sleep for 20. The day he turned 4 months, I was like, Mom, we have to do this, right?
Yeah.
I laid him down to cry his 5 minutes. He didn't cry 5 minutes and he slept. That was it. He was just wanted to be left alone.
He was like, just leave me be. I don't want anybody touching me, shushing me. Just leave me be.
Yeah.
Quiet.
Stop bothering me and stressing out about it. It's not the big of a deal. I just want to go to sleep.
That's hilarious. Wow.
And then how do you know? Like, you know?
Right.
So it could be that easy. It could also take a couple days. Okay. And then see how that goes. That's it. It's so simple, right? It's just keep on a schedule, kind of keep track of what's happening. And then following week, if that's going well, I would say at trying to get him to sleep through his 45 minutes. So if he does wake up at 5 minutes or 2 minutes or 20 minutes, 5 minutes, let him cry for 5, go in. It's the same thing every time.
Okay.
So
then do you have a cycle also as like at 4 months old, like how many naps that they should be taking, or, should I be just gauging it again off of like, okay, he seems like he might need a nap or something like that. I don't know. I always have struggles with that. Like once they start getting older and you start cutting out naps, like that's the, or is this just for right? 4 months.
This is for right now.
Okay.
Because he takes probably 3 naps.
Let's see for sure. Would you consider the morning nap? So like when I say he slept till like 10 a.m., would you consider that like a nap from 6 to 10? Or would you say that's like still his like nighttime sleep cycle?
That's crazy. That's kind of a weird, because typically they're up at like 6 and then they're up for an hour and a half. And then the first nap would be around 8.
Okay.
And then, so that's why for him, I'm like, I don't know. I think it's typically 3 or 4 naps, but that depends on when their wake time is and how.
And I guess I don't really keep track of how many naps he does take, because I'm just like, oh, he's tired. Okay, let's try to get him to sleep. And then, some days like he'll be just fine and he's awake and he doesn't need a nap. But then like come evening time is like, he is tired. Like he almost needs to go to bed at 7 p.m. and just sleep until, 7 a.m.,
Yeah. So that's the next thing I was going to say. Even if he's not fussy, he still needs a nap.
Okay.
And that's at least to try, right? Because he does get fussy later. And then the next thing that I was going to suggest, because I know he's up later, 6:30 bedtime.
Okay. Ooh.
I know it's crazy, but the studies for me anyways, in my experience, they get up a couple times a night or they sleep 12 hours. The earlier, the better.
Okay. Well, and like I'm usually up at 6:30 in the morning. So that's why I know he gets up around 6, because I'll feed him right before my husband goes to work, and then he'll fall back asleep. I put him back in the crib and then he sleeps till after the other kids. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm just curious what would happen if you kept him up for even a half hour.
Okay.
I know that's kind of hard because you want him to sleep, but you could always, so just play around with it. Because I feel like he's missing a morning
he is. He is. I feel
thing.
like that too, because he sleeps so late in the morning, and then
Yeah.
I feel like he's just awake a lot from that, like, 10 a.m. to
And
10 p.m. cycle of.
yeah. Yep. And then that keeps him up later.
Yeah. Interesting.
So
Yeah, and I'll have to try those tips.
Yeah, I think that would maybe help kind of balance it out and change his sleep a little bit. It's crazy.
I
Wow.
know.
And he's well, so you breastfeeding, so you don't know if how much he's really getting.
No, I mean, when I pumped, I would say 5 ounces that I get, but I don't feed him on each side every time. It's usually the one that has the most, so probably like 3 ounces each time.
Okay. So it should
approximately, because when he takes a
Yeah.
bottle, it's 2 ounces, and he's still hungry, so I usually have to feed
Yeah.
him again once I get home. I only leave him for like short cycles, running to town or whatever. Husband feeds a bottle, and he's still acting hungry. So I feel like that probably 3 to 4 ounces a time.
Okay. He could probably be at 5 or 6 by now.
Okay.
I know that's hard, but maybe try give him a bigger bottle, and see if he'll drink all that, and then that will kind of help you know to maybe feed him a little more.
I know that's
that
true.
That might help. And then he's okay. Say it again about the nighttime. He goes to bed at 10.
So yeah, and it just feels like evenings are just so random too, but around that, like between say 9 p.m. to 11 even, because sometimes he's like up fussing till 11 p.m. and you're just like he just won't go to bed.
Right.
So between 9 and 11 p.m. is like when he usually goes down, and then he'll sleep for a couple hours and usually wakes up between, I think it was like midnight and 2, somewhere in there.
Okay.
And then he'll sleep until that 6 a.m.
Okay.
And then from 6 after the feeding till 9, 10-ish.
Okay. Okay. So if you adjust, he's so cute.
I know.
So I think if we adjust the naps a little bit and wake him up a little bit earlier in the morning.
Okay.
Or keep him awake for a little bit. I know it's not super ideal, but
I know, and I think that it's just more the nighttime would be ideal. Like if I could get him to sleep earlier in the evening like that, because like that's when he is the fussiest, when he's probably like really tired, but he just won't go to sleep.
They're overly tired by then, and their brain starts to kind of be done for the day around 5:30 or 6. So you're missing that window if you're doing that.
Okay. I wouldn't have ever even thought to do that like 6:30, because I would be like, that's way too early.
Every mom asks me, should I put him to bed later? I'm like, no, it's the other way. He's overly tired. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And maybe he might be hungry. Really.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and then you had said, I think at one point, that they'll wake up if they're hungry. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And if they're eating less than 3 ounces, it's a habit.
Okay.
At a certain age.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
So I would suggest, try the bottle thing and see when your husband's home or whatever, and see if he'll drink 6 ounces or 5.
Yeah. And then I think he probably would.
Do you pumping, right?
Every once in a while I pump, like after, he's fed a bottle, then I'll pump, but I normally don't.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, I'm really curious to see, because this might be a really easy thing.
I hope so.
Easy thing for him. And
he's just like, yeah, I like it too.
Right. I mean, what if you lay him down and he's like, okay, thank you, just leave me alone?
I know. I would be like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, think of the time you would have, and then he'll be happier in the evening too. And
yeah, no, I just feel like I get so frustrated right now, because you're trying to balance everything, and then then the baby's fussing, and you're trying to have the other kids bounce him around, and he just gets madder. It's like that 4 to 6 p.m. mark when like he needs a good nap too, probably earlier than 4 o'clock, because that's when the kids get home from school, and he just like,
especially if he's only had a 20-minute nap.
Yeah, like he gets these cat naps in, because like he'll fall asleep in the swing or something, and then the kid comes along and bangs a toy, and he's like up, and
so that's the next thing I would say too, is probably just in the bedroom.
Consistently in his crib.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, and that's
so old for that.
Yeah. I feel like the swing, like it's more, he doesn't even really like it when he's awake anyways. It's more of just like, okay, he fell asleep, I'm gonna set him here so I can go do something.
I know.
And then they don't sleep very long in there either. So
yeah, I know. It's great for newborns, but he's not, it's time.
Yeah, I'm ready to get rid of it anyway, so I think that's a good.
Yeah.
Shut the
Yeah.
door.
That's good. And that's a good routine to get into of like, this is bedtime. We're in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Because when we go to sleep, we do that too, right? Like,
yeah,
we don't just go in the swing to take a nap.
Exactly.
Maybe in the summertime when it's nice and cool and warm, but
yeah, to rest because you're lazy.
Yeah.
That's different. Yeah. But yeah, so it tells your brain that it's time for sleep.
Perfect.
Do you have darkening shades?
Yeah, there is like I wouldn't say like super blackout or anything, but there helps darken the room. I have a noise, like a white fan,
machine. Okay.
white sound
Yep.
machine. Whatever, you get what I mean?
White noise, yeah. Sound machine, I know.
Have you heard of the Dome? It's DOHM. That's what I have, and I love it.
Okay, that's a good one.
And then his pacifier, he takes that. So
okay.
I don't know about that. I don't know how you think about pacifiers, because I feel like it'll help him fall asleep or settle down, but then he like spits it out all the time.
No.
Like it's always coming out, and then 2 minutes later, when I do try to lay him down, he
wants it again.
He wants it again.
But he can't get it.
Yeah.
So maybe for now, just keep putting it in. It depends. I tell parents to try both.
Okay.
If he won't calm down without it, then give it to him. But if he can find, the faster he's without it, the faster he'll find his fingers or thumb.
Yeah, I mean, he does get his fingers in there, and I feel like he's got his hands, so like that helps sometimes. But yeah,
maybe just do it as needed.
Okay.
And then gradually don't do it. I mean, I don't care. I think if they're fussy and they need a pacifier at nap time, I think it's great.
Okay.
It's just hard when you're trying to sleep train and get them.
Right, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that, I think, just whatever. Okay, so I will send you the chart. I will send you some information on some swaddles.
Perfect.
And then we will touch base in a couple days.
All righty, sounds good.
And if you want, I can send you a quick thing of what we talked about, what your homework is.
Sure. Yeah, no, that would be great, because I feel like the chart will help, but then if I can have something else, either print it off or I can write it down or something, that would be great too.
Yeah. So it's like 3 bullet points, right? It's track it.
Okay.
Put him down sleepy and awake. Check his feeding, and then the morning nap, the morning wake.
Okay.
Just adjust it. And then naps in the room. That's really it.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Easy enough?
I think so.
Okay.
Hopefully he'll be an easy one for us. I think so.
I'll be curious. I always love to hear.
Yeah, I'll for sure let you know, because you'll be hearing from me if it doesn't work. I'll be like, hey, what else can I try?
Yep. That's fine.
But I think it'll work for him, because I need that consistency myself. So if we both know what's going on, then I think that'll be really beneficial to get. Okay. He knows when to go to sleep. So
yeah. Right.
Awesome.
I know. I think it'll be helpful. And then, I just lost my train of thought. Yes, that will be helpful. I usually say, that's what I was going to say. Sorry. I do offer other calls as well. And, the messaging, unlimited messaging, and
perfect.
I have a lot of moms who are like, okay, now it's sleep regression. What do I do? We need to call. All of a sudden he's not sleeping again. Can you call tonight? So every situation is different. So.
All righty.
That's what I think. I think let's do that. I think we got this.